Hello guys, and welcome back to another Fishing Frenzy video. Now, I know this is a bit different. I am just going to talk about my lure boxes today. Now, usually I'd be out on the bank, catching carp and pike, but I'm having to self-isolate. But as I say, the show must go on. So anyway, let's just get on with it. So, today's video is going to be about my pike box, what I take on the bank, my lures and that. Just a general run through of what I use when I use them. I'll put all prices on as I usually do for these videos, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So box number one is, well, this box is my favourite box really. It's got all the good lures in here. It's a Daiwa box. I'm not too sure what the name is. I'll put it in the corner there. But yeah, this is a really cool box, and let's just talk about the lures in it. You might be able to recognise a couple just from me showing you there. Actually, might be able to recognise them all, but we'll get right into it. So on the bottom two, so at the bottom there, if you can see that, I'm trying to show you there. So this one, I'll show you now. So first up, we've got a Savage Gear the Bush. Now I use this for dirty waters. If the water's a bit murky, usually I chuck this in and I'll get a bite on it. This is the bigger one. I'm pretty sure it's around 40 or 50 gram. Absolute great lure. I've also put a fox grub on it. I think this is a 10-12 centimeter. I cut the head off it just to make it look better, but yeah, that's the Savage Gear the Bush. Great for murky waters, get loads of fish on them. You can even catch perch on the smaller ones of these, but inline spinners, they always do a treat. So next up in this Daiwa box, we've got the Savage Gear Rat. Absolute perfect lure. As you know, I've caught on this plenty of times, but it's always a must-have here. So yeah, the Savage Gear Rat, great top water. You can two different settings there. So that's surface, the bottom one, and this one makes it dive. So yeah, it is a great lure. If you guys were starting off for pike and you want to get into top water, chuck one of these bad boys out. They are just absolutely perfect in the tackle box. So yeah, we got the Savage Gear Rat there. Next up, we've got a the Savage Gear Trout. Now this one actually needs fixing a bit, but it is a great lure. I caught one not too long back, close to double on these, and I always catch jacks on these. I mean, they're just perfect for canals, rivers, anywhere really that holds a pike. They just go crazy for these. This is the smaller version. I'll put sizes up here and that. This is the smaller one, but I know you can get bigger ones. I know you can get massive ones that are like 48 centimeters. They're crazy. But they're for like big lakes for 20 pounders. I mean, the local canal holds a couple of 20s, but I'm not gonna spend that much money. But it's only for places, the bigger ones, if you like, I don't know, you live next to a big river, next to where big pike live, and there's a lot of them in there. That's when I buy one of them. But the smaller one does fine for me. You catch plenty of doubles on these. So yeah, line through trout, perfect lure. Next up, it's one of my favourite lures. Honestly, I'd recommend this lure so much. The Rapala Haku, and I talk about this so many times on my channel. It's such a good lure, man. It's just perfect. Now, I've got videos of it and all sorts. I know everything about this lure. It's two treble lugs, costs around £15. It's about 14 centimetre. perfect for beginners, perfect to get into those I don't know, smaller places. I always think paddle tails will catch, you know, even in, you know, warmer months, paddle tails will catch, which by the way, it is pretty warm now, so you gotta be careful with your pike fishing. I wouldn't recommend pike fishing in 20-degree weather, or at least 25, as that can harm the pike pretty much. I'd go carp fishing for that, but once it cools down a bit, you can chuck one of these bad boys out. Definitely recommend the Rapala P.O. Now, in my tackle box, pretty much nearly all my tackle box is Savage Gear, and well, this is really the Savage Gear Rapala, and this is my second, well actually maybe my first favourite. It's definitely my favourite glide bait I own. The Rapala Haku. Would you look at that? That's just perfect. It looks so good. Now, the Rapala Haku, it cost £20, a bit expensive. I had to save up a bit of pocket money for this one, but it was well worth it. Honestly, nearly every time me and my friends go out, one of us is guaranteed to catch on the Haku that session. It's just perfect. It comes to surface, it's got a release rig, which I'll show you now. So once the pike gets on, pulls out, and then it can't use the lure to unhook itself, which is good thinking from Rapala, to be fair. It has a walk the dog action kind of way, it just glides like that, bang. Which is perfect. I think for winter and summer, it's just good all around, and that's what I like about Rapala. They don't just think about one season to use it. Like the rat, I wouldn't use that in winter. I'd use it in summer, but you won't want to use rat in winter. Do you want to use something like this? But you can use this in summer and you'd still catch a lot. Me and my friends catch loads on these. I got the roach colour, and would you look at that? I always say Rapala make a lot of great colours for their lures. So yeah, the Rapala Haku. If you've got the money and you want a glide bait, a perfect glide bait, the Rapala Haku is for you. Next up, we've got another Rapala lure. Would you believe it? I just love Rapala, if you couldn't tell. The Rapala Otis. Now, I used to have a blue one of these, but I gifted it to my friend for something else. But I've got an olive one now. They come in loads of colours. I'm pretty sure you can get the roach colour on this. You can get any colours. They're all perfect. This is about £16-17, but would you look at that though? It's just perfect. And I'll actually pull up. This is from a couple of days ago. One of my biggest fish at year. I'll put a clip up now of me catching that fish. So yeah. Alright guys, I've just had one on the Otis. Shot up out at weeds, it scared me to death. It's a low double this, not a bad pike. I can feel him getting riled up now. What a beauty, eh? Hey, anyway, let's get it back in water. I mean, as you can see there, that's a big fish. It's perfect. And so Rapala always make the best. Now, I've got a whole video about this, but the Rapala P.O. and the Rapala Otis. Put in comments what you think's better, but personally I think P.O. is better, but this big one catches bigger ones, so it's kind of hard to tell. It's up to you. I'd use this in summer months and use the P.O. in winter, but you can use them anytime. This is great for river as well, and this also has kind of a walk the dog action. It's wobble, we'll tip it like that. It's just perfect. So yeah, Rapala Otis, kind of like the P.O. but a bit different. So yeah, you got that. Next up, it's quite a big bait, but you know, I love this. The Savage Gear 4D pike, another pretty pricey one. This one's about £20. I've had a few on this. I'm not gonna say it's the best Savage Gear I've got, but it looks perfect in the water with its like S-curve in action. I've got a video on it. it works constantly. It's kind of like the hiker. I'll always chuck this out, and there's always one that I'll take a little nibble on it. Now, kind of like the trout, you can get this in like, I'm pretty sure it's like, it's like around close to a meter long. It's like an actual, well, not a meter long, but like 70 centimeters long, and it's like an actual jack pike. It's for like 20 pounders, obviously, but you know, I don't need that. Plus, you need a heavy rod to cast that. I'm pretty sure it's like 600 gram. I'm not too sure. I'll put specs here, but yeah, the 4D pike. I haven't really got much to say on that other than it's great lure, great S-curve in action. Pick it up if you need a pike imitation lure. So yeah, next up we've got another Savage Gear. Actually the last one in the box really. Savage Gear Spin Tail Shad, I'm pretty sure they're called. That's it there. I got this literally like a week ago. I went on holiday and there's an angling director, and it takes me ages. I live in the middle of nowhere, really, in a small town in the middle of nowhere. So getting to a tackle shop that sells Savage Gear stuff is pretty rare. So when I'm on holiday and there's an angling direct, I'm just gonna spend my money. And I thought, why not get one of these? I've never really had them, but I love trout lures. What will they do? Now, you can catch perch on these, I'm pretty sure. It looks like you could catch a perch on them. Maybe big perch, but I know you probably could. Perch, pike obviously. I'm yet to catch something on this, but when I do, I'll put a video out on it. It looks great in water. So yeah, it cost me a tenner this. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if it catches me a big fish, then hey, it's worth it. So that's the Daiwa box done. That's everything in there. I'll just relist what everything is in there. The Savage Gear, the bush, the rat, the trout, the Pito, the haiku, the otis, 4D pike, and the spin tail shad. So that's what's in the first box. Now I already know this is going to be a long video, but you know what, I've got nothing better to do. I'm literally stuck doing nothing in my house, so why not? Let's get a drink of water. So let's go on to the second box. Now this second box, it's a bit weird. This is kind of a torn up box, but you might recognise that. Rapala sticker, Savage Gear sticker, Westin sticker. I love the box. It's for carp fishing, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's got a little measurement thing for rigs, but I bought this before I even got a bait caster. I was using some of my dad's old gear, not really knowing what I'm doing. I'm like, I'll just buy this box, a few quid on eBay, and I've used it ever since. It holds all these lures. It's a Fox box, great. So I'll just show you the lures if I can. I'm sorry, it's a bit weird recording like this, but yeah, I'll go from the top. So first up, and I've had this for a while, Savage Gear River Roach. I should really tuck that back treble in. Now this is a bit torn up. If I can hold it properly for you guys. Savage Gear River Roach. It's absolutely massive. I think it's 20 something centimetre. It's the biggest one. Yeah, its paddle tail's massive. I mean, just look at that. It's a chunk of a lure. Got rails in it. Now it's that roughed up. I've had to get a lighter and burn it back together. Right, you can get loads on these. I've had a few jacks on them. Big trebles on the back of it. Perfect lure. I mean, if you're looking for, it's kind of like the Pito. If you're looking for a big roach paddle imitation, it's perfect. I think it's the best, one of the best maybe. Savage gear lures. It's so good, very realistic, and the pike, they can't resist it. They just gotta go for it. With a long trace, I'm pretty sure it's might even be £100 this. But yeah, it costs a lot, but you get a lot of fish with them. So yeah, Savage Gear River Roach, perfect roach imitation. Next up, down the box, we've got the bat. Now I haven't really got too much to say. I've only chucked it a couple of times. I might have to make a video about this once I get my mount for the camera. But the Savage Gear bat, I might have to make a video about it. I haven't had too much. My friends have. One of my friends has got a 15 on one of these, so I do know the work. It has a claw action. It's quite a cool bait, really. I know the pike just go crazy for it. I haven't really tried it too much. I really should. I mean, it's a bit wacky. It's very loud. It's very loud in water as well. So yeah, the bat, I'm pretty sure it's like 14 quid. Not too sure how much it weighs. I'll put it there, but it's a great lure. So yeah. Next up, we have another top water. I bought this a while back, and I have had a couple on this. The duck. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, why would Savage Gear make such a lure? Such a stupid, weird lure. I'll tell you why. Because it's perfect for spring. All these little ducklings about, pike munch on them when they get lost and stranded. Now the feet of this actually flip around. Can't really mimic that, but it's kind of like a propeller on the back of it. They just kick around in water. It's quite cool, and I love top water. I mean, pike blow ups, anything that blows up on top of waterfall. I'm into it, so I thought I'll get the duck. I've had a couple of big fish on this, but you know, I'm gonna chuck this a lot more soon. Once I can get out, you know, and start fishing. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a chuck. But the Savage Gear Suicide Duck, I'm pretty sure it's called. Perfect duck imitation. If there's plenty of ducklings around the area and you know there's big pike in there willing to feast on a lone duck. So yeah, Savage Gear Suicide Duck. Next up, we've got another glide bait. Everything in this box is Savage Gear. I call this on my Savage Gear box. Not that one. Glide bait. The Shine Glider. Now look at that. Night water. I love glide baits. A lot of people say jerk baits are better. Now jerk baits are good, but glide baits, I think glide baits are better. They are just the same thing, but I think glide baits are more uniform. This is the Shine Glider. This is the albino version. It has a swish, so you jerk it and then it'll go like that. It's very cool. Cheap as well. I think I got this for 11 quid, and this is the big one. I've had a few on this. Perfect lure. It looks great in the box, and the thing what I love about Savage Gear. Now, a lot of people don't really like this. Is they put the letters. If I can show you that, they put the letters. It's flipped, but they put like the letters on top. So this will say Shine Glider. So when I'm looking through my box on what to use, I can read Shine Glider pretty easily. It's easier to see what spot, you know, because I might have other albino lures in there, like the albino trout and that, and sometimes it's kind of hard to think which one's which. So I like what Savage Gear do by putting the name on top. So yeah. Great glide bait. Good for beginners because they're quite cheap and they're lightweight. So yeah, and look realistic. Next up, this is a bit goofy. Now, the tail on this lure got knackered, and now it wouldn't swim properly. So what I had to do, which sucks in a way, because it looks rubbish in like out the box, but it does actually work in the water to make it swim properly. I had to put a new replacement tail on the line through roach. Now I did have an original roach colour. I was a proud owner of one of them, because they're quite hard to get hold of now, but sadly that snapped off on a snag, which was awful. So I managed to get one of these and the tail started getting naff, and then so what I had to do is I had to cut tail off and make a little plastic tail. It swims perfectly in the water. It just looks a bit odd, but to be fair, it looks good in water, so you know what, whatever works. And I have caught pike on this, so I know it works. So yeah, the line through roach anyway is one of the best Savage Gear lures. I know it's so realistic. I think it's one of the most realistic lures any lure company does. It's so good. In the winter months it's great, in the summer months it's great. It's great all around. It's just the perfect ideal lure. They're only like 10 quid and all, to the good price, and they're so realistic and they look great in the box. So if you guys are going after a realistic roach imitation, pick one of these bad boys up. They won't let you down for pike, especially when you can go up river, which is now I'm pretty sure you can go up river. So yeah, the line through roach, perfect. Definitely pick one of them up. So that's the Savage Gear box. A bit weird, a bit wacky, you know, with the top waters, the big baits, you know. But sometimes you gotta have those wacky baits to catch your bigger fish. So yeah, now just cram that in there. The one bad thing about the duck is that it's massive, so you kind of have to cram it in the box. But yeah, that's a Savage Gear box. So now on to the last box, which is a bit of a weird box. It's full of grubs, really. Is a very old box. This actually used to be my dad's, but he gave it to me because I needed more space. It is just a standard tackle box. You can pick these up anywhere. About a £5 if you want to go to Bobco and get one, which I'll be off soon, and I'll try my best to get a margin pole, because this summer I want to try out margin fishing on the pole. But let's see if if they have any in stock. I was actually gonna get the Preston Edge Monster, but as soon as I got the money and I was ready to go, they fell out of stock. So I might need to go to Angling Direct instead and get one, or get a different pole. But they're quite expensive, so we'll see. I'll do a big video on what I got from Bobco. It's next week when I'm off. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's get right into it. So the third and last box spared. It's pretty tricky to undo as it is pretty old. Yeah, you might be able to recognise some baits there. So I'll just go from the top to the bottom. So first up is the Spro Rat. I took the tail off it for storage reasons. I'll slide it in now. Comes with a little plastic bit, but the Spro BBZ1 Rat 50, it's so good. I made a video about this lure and the Savage Gear one, and they're hard to tell, but I think right now what I'd be using is the Spro Rat, to be honest. It's a bigger bait, but at the moment I've just been getting loads on the Spro Rat. It's just such a good lure. Doesn't matter what size. I mean, this lure is massive. It's like I think it's like 25 centimeters, because I think the 50 is millimeters, so I think this is 25 centimeters long. Now I know you can get Savage Gear 30 centimeter ones. I've had them. I think they're too big. I've had big fish in them, but you know, you don't need them. I think this is biggest you want. The Spro BBC Rat 50, perfect lure, would recommend. Quite pricey, I think it's 20 quid for one, but I got 2 for £15, which was a bargain. So yeah, definitely pick one of them up if you're into big baits on the top water. You get big blow ups on this. I tell you, the biggest blow ups I've had is on these. So check them out, you know, the BBC Rat 50. This is a long video, it's like half an hour long. Next up, we've got the pretty weird one. I love these fox grubs. This one's a bit dirty. I need a proper rig. I just nicked this off my cannibal shad. Can't speak. But yeah, the fox grub. What a lure. I mean, very cheap. That's why I love fox. They're cheap and they're reliable. I think this is a £5, 6 quid on eBay, just for the grub, not for the rig. But when you think about it, it's great. Big curltails on it and that, and on big pike lakes where there's 20 pounders and that, you're guaranteed to catch with a fox grub. I have loads. I mean, you can go to any Angling Direct or Bobco, you can get the little ones. I've had a 10 pounder on the little I think it's not even 8 centimeters. I was going for perch, and then I just see this massive 10 pounder coming for it. Now that sometimes happens. Sometimes you'll get pike. But yeah, the fox grub, what a perfect lure. Very cheap, very affordable. Pretty heavy though, so you gotta be careful with it. But yeah, that's what I have. Next up, I think this is the Goby shad. It's a tiny one. I got this off a mate. I got this on a small river roach rig. Yeah, I probably will put this in a cannibal shad rig. They're kind of good. I had nothing on it. I haven't really chucked it that much, but I just thought they were pretty cheap. I went Bobco, and they were like, you know, they were like 3 quid for a pack of these. So I'll pick it up. I'll give them a try. I haven't really used them too much. I can see them working in, I don't know, murky days. Or, you know, the pike tucked in those weeds, so you just chuck them along. Because it it kind of comes to the surface. You don't really sink. Well, it don't for me, because I've got the river roach rig on it. But cheap, affordable, Savage Gear bird. But I know the big ones do a lot on rivers. From DB. I'm pretty sure he got his PB on that. Either that or the Balties. I'm not too sure. They are quite cool to have. I don't really know. I don't really recommend them, but if you ever come past them and you just want an alert for the box, you know, why not get one of these? So yeah, take that with me just in case. Next up is one of my favourite lures. I got this recently, and I got it like a couple of weeks ago, and I've already had big fish in it. I've had multiple fish. And I know this works for a lot of people. I'm not too sure what they're called. I'll just call them Fox Rage Roach. It's got 5 sections on it. Pretty sure it's like 56 gram. And it looks so good. It kind of looks like a snake in water because of all the joints on it. Yeah, I absolutely adore this lure. It looks so good in the water. Literally, all you need to do is bob it around, and you're probably guaranteed at least a jack on it if you're chucking this out for a day. I mean, what a lure! It's just so fun to use. So yeah, the Fox Rage Roach, Supernatural Roach. What a perfect lure in the box. What a perfect lure in the water. So yeah, definitely give one of them a buy. I think it's only £6, which isn't that much to be fair. That's why I say Fox are cheap and affordable. I mean, this is 18 centimetre, and it's only £6, and it's a swim bait. I mean, that's crazy. That I don't know how to do it, but yeah, pick one of these up. Trust me, you won't regret it. Especially for £6. which is quite cheap for lures if you didn't know. Next up, kind of a hit or miss lure. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. It really just depends on the day. And that is the hybrid pike. I've got the other bit of the tail there. Savage Gear hybrid pike. Now I had the big one, but I thought it was too big, so I gave it to a mate in return for some lures. So yeah, Savage Gear pike. Now the cool thing about this, I'll just tell you what's good about it. First off, you can remove the tail just by unscrewing it. So this is more for summer, by the way. This sort of lure. And if you're wanting to go to more action, really more chaos in the water, you can put a paddle tail on. Also makes it a little bit smaller, more presentable to the pike. Like that. Also, it's kind of like the haiku where when the pike takes it, it's got a release rig, allowing the lure, the pike not to use a lure to unhook itself. So yeah, it's another good feature. But the problem I have with this is that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a very hit or miss lure, like I said. Sometimes you have those days where the pike will just eat anything, but majority of the time I just don't catch too much on these. And for 15 quid, I'm pretty sure it is. It really depends. If you're really looking for a good pike imitation lure, it's great. But if you're starting off, I won't recommend this. You know, stay with like the pike shad, the small pike shad. I think that's better than this. But it's great either way. I mean, you still catch fish on them, but you just gotta be on right day for them, I suppose. So yeah, the Savage Gear hybrid pike, very on-off lure. Now the last lure, I haven't rigged it up yet because I've only just got it. The last lure I have in my boxes that I take with me is the shad tease, £6. I've seen this in water, it wobbles. It's so good. I got the dirty roach colour because everybody gets it. I mean, if you got a choice, I'd go with this colour. It's just so clean. The shad tease. Now, I know a lot of people catch big ones on this. I've rigged it up once and I've had a follow. I've only had it for not even a week. So yeah, the shad tease. I've tried it in water. It wobbles like that. And it's paddle tailed. Now, the thing I love about paddle tails is they cause so much havoc and they look so good. I mean, this flashes in water. It's kind of like the Peter. It flashes like that. It just irritates the pike so much, and just gotta go for it. So you're probably almost guaranteed to catch in the shad tease, depending on what time of year. I'd use this in winter months. You can use this any time really though. So yeah, shad tease, give that a try. I'm pretty sure it's £6. So yeah, that's the shad tease. Now, I hope you enjoyed this. It's a long video. I can see it's 33 minutes long. Long video, very long. Probably my longest video I've ever recorded. It's a bit boring, I know, but I don't really have anything else to record. I thought, why not just record what lures I have in my boxes? You know, it's fun to talk about, and it's just fun to go through, you know, looking at what lures you got. I love just going through my lure boxes and just looking at all the different lures, when to use them, what box they're in, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I thought maybe this could give you a little intel for the lures I use. I use this mostly in air and cold navigation, but you know, use them anywhere. Like I said, you know, river and all that lot. So yeah, I've been Fishing Frenzy. Like, subscribe. Also, just before I end the video, now that I've not got no school left, I can record more fishing content. After I get out of isolation, I'll definitely record plenty of carp videos, some pike videos. There's loads. I'm just gonna absolutely go for it this summer for fishing. So yeah, stay tuned for all the carp and that. I also mentioned that I'm off to Bobco in a week, so stay tuned for a video about what I got at Bobco. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And I'm also, just before I enter, sorry about this, I'm also off on holiday again soon, to the sea at Cromer. So I'll be off sea fishing. We're doing some catching some mackerel and seeing how they taste. Catch, clean, cook. Hopefully guys like that. I've never done it before, so it's going to be new to me as well. So I suppose we're all just learning on the way. Anyway, sorry to bore you with all that lot. I've been Fishing Frenzy. Like, subscribe, comment, notification bell. Start anything. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Tell me in comments what I need to improve on. I know it's not the best content in the world, but you know, like, subscribe, comment, all that lot. And yeah, keep on casting.